I was thinking to ask you a little bit about how you started talking about the subject. Like, have you already done that before Bali, or was it like, did you feel that you wanted to be really grounded in that awareness to be able to talk to people about it? Yeah, I'm a little bit interested in that.
Yeah. No, I didn't ever speak before Bali, and I never had any uh, inclination or desires to speak prior to Bali.
Mm.
Roger also said that I would never be able to speak about this because of my lack of precision with my mind, so like I don't, like he's got a very precise mind, very, if you've listened to his talks, and he always said that I'm too, yeah, I don't have that ability like that. So I never had any expectations about speaking or talking about this, and never had desires. When Roger said that to me, that was never something that I argued with or was like, how dare you? I was just like, I can understand that. Um, and um, and then after Bali, it just kind of happened. So first of all, what happened was my friend was dying from a brain tumor. And when I came back from Bali to Australia, he lived next door and he'd also been a student of Roger's. And because he was dying of a brain tumor and he owned his own business, he began to struggle to be able to drive his car. And I happened to have time at that time to be able to drive him around.
Mm.
And profound things can happen when you're driving with someone that's dying from a brain tumor, and then somebody who's just had a massive life-changing blast of eternity. And we're driving around in the car in the bush, and so inevitably speaking began to happen because he was also going through this profound experience of when you die from brain tumor, it begins to take away your senses. So weirdly, I could really relate to what was happening to him from this awakening, because when I had it initially, the first days, I couldn't do physical things very well. So just crossing the road was very disorientating because I couldn't really
Mm.
perceive where my body was in relationship to the cars. And Bali, the cars were quite intense, It's not as bad as India, but it was quite intense, the
Mm.
bikes and the cars. And also like the feeling of my hand as opposed to the table, or my hand as opposed to someone else's hand, was all different. And so when he began to struggle with things like not being able to remember how to put on his do you use jumper? I'm not sure if that's very English, or pullover, sweat shirt. I don't know the right word for,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
sweatshirt. We'd say pullover in England, but I don't think any other country uses that except England. So it's a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Um, when he began to struggle and couldn't work out how you put the head through the jumper, like how you do that, I could really
Hmm.
relate, because it felt like my brain just got like totally blasted. And I also had these struggles with my
Hmm.
coordination and body and speaking. And so we just began to have these really profound conversations and really beautiful conversations. And he again to say that I should record them, and I think we did record them, and that we gave them to his partner, because he also we used to begin to talk about like so I personally believe in rebirth, and he would talk about like being reborn, and because when it started growing, he'd had it for 9 years, and when it started growing this last time, there was nothing left that they could do, you know. So he had it for 9 years, and then they did different things, and it stopped it growing. But this last growing, you know, he'd done everything. There was no more options. And everyone knew that if it started growing again. And also before Bali, me and him and Roger had spent, I think, 6 weeks in India together. So months or two before Bali. And so there was also like he was also really, you know, open to all of this, and we'd been to lots of satsangs together. So it just naturally, organically started happening. And so then from that, I then uploaded a video to YouTube, but that was slightly different. And actually it wasn't to YouTube, it was to Facebook. It was like, I just was so bursting with this freedom. It's like it just wanted to speak, you know, like to be expressed. And I think that that's why I did the initial video. But then in my later ones, you actually hear him falling over. He came to stay because his partner needed a rest, I think. And he came to stay for a few days. And you actually hear him falling over in the background. Like I was talking about death. And maybe I ended the video because I was going to go and help him. So that one maybe was inspired by him. But I think initially it was like, I'm just sitting there like this, like bursting with love, and like just wanting to express love. And so it was just in the very beginning, you know, when Facebook was beginning to have like, you could upload videos easily or something. And yeah, so that's how it happened. Very unromantically, I uploaded a video to Facebook. But the other part, the speaking to, his name was Greg, about it, super beautiful. Yeah, we had some profound car journeys, because also driving was like such a new experience for me.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
It was one special kind of shuttle that was driving around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a way you were having, yes, similar experiences. Like he was sort of having these shifts because the body was not able to hold the consciousness anymore somehow, maybe. And you were doing that in like an energetic way, sort of, maybe.
Yeah.
And so you feel that it seems to be, yeah, that kind of a shift into the other world, into the nothingness or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really beautiful, that time we spent together.
Yeah, nice. That was the bridge for you to just channel it in that way without intention.
Yeah. And it kind of happened very quickly. So I came back from Bali, and then I think it was a month or two afterwards that I think the first time we started noticing it was that he couldn't open the door to his car when we went to the cinema. We went to the cinema to watch Bridesmaids. Do you never watch this film, this comedy? And he couldn't open the door, and then his wife, his partner, noticed, and then they went and got a scan, and so it was about 2 months after I came back from Bali. And Roger was away at that time, so it was just me in the house next door to him, and we've become really close, the four of us. So over the years, because Roger also gave them satsang, It was about a year where we did like every morning from like 7 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's funny that how you describe it, that sort of when you were still more in your personality, like before that shift, somebody tells you you will never be able to do it, like that kind of uh, expressing it in that way, and then once that part is not there anymore, or you sort of yeah, shifted in that way, then it's like a natural, it's like a sort of a higher intelligence that speaks through you. So that
Yeah,
is different.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
the difference.
yeah,
So yeah, sort of.
yeah,
Ah, yeah. Thank you for that story,
yeah,
background story.
yeah. And if you watch some of the earlier videos, you might hear Greg in the background or me speaking to Greg. And
Ah, yeah.
sometimes I had all the dogs. So he had two dogs and I had two dogs. So sometimes I'd also be looking after his dogs. So you'd see me with like four dogs. I don't know, some of them got deleted because I deleted my Facebook account and I didn't ever put them on YouTube. And then some of them ended up on YouTube.
Ah, great. Yeah. Nice to talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. That was sweet to
See
remember, Greg.
you. Yeah, take care. Bye.